Okay, so as we all know, we have been facing and fighting the COVID-19 pandemic for almost 2 years now. And we cannot just sit back and do nothing, right? We have to keep going, we have to keep being productive. So we are forced to use alternatives for every aspect of our daily life, including the education system. Education itself is not something that we can just dismiss for a long time. We eventually have to come back and build the system back because we need education. Everyone needs education. That's why we came up with a plan, an emergency plan, to use the distance learning system. However, as it is an emergency plan, we actually don't have enough time to prepare for the distance learning properly. That's why we have so many obstacles. And I actually divided the obstacles into two groups. The first one is the human resources, and the second one is the technology resources. Talking about the human resources, when it comes to learning, there are two major components of the human resources, and obviously, as we all know, we have teachers who teach and the students who learn. And for years and years and for decades, we have been learning with the same education system, which is the offline education system, and suddenly we have to use the distance learning. So it is not an easy task for us to adapt with the new system, both for the teachers and the students. We are demanded to learn, to immediately learn the new technologies to accommodate with the new system. And from the teacher's point of view, it is kind of hard for the older generations to follow the new technologies because, well, the new technologies didn't exist back in their time. And for the younger students, the students who are very young, they are not supposed to be exposed to the new technologies such as devices, a mobile phone, and then the internet. They are not supposed to be exposed to that kind of things yet. But they have no choice. It is take it or leave it. So yeah, it is kind of interesting because from the teacher's side, the older you are, the harder it is for you to adapt, and from the student's side, the younger you are, the harder it is for you to be able to join the distance learning system. Moving on to the next obstacle, we have the lack of technology resources. Let's start by talking about Indonesia. As we know, Indonesia is a country which consists of so many islands. And there is no guarantee that every single island have the same quality of internet connection. And this is the main problem. This is the main obstacle. If you live in the mainland, which is the Java Island, then you have the privilege of having a much more stable internet connection. But if you live outside of Java, yeah, that's the problem. And aside from the connection, the lack of the device itself is a much bigger problem. Some students and some teachers just don't have the device. There are so many things why they may not have the device. Maybe they have financial problems, or maybe they don't have access to have the device. If they live outside of Java, maybe they live in a village where no one sells any kind of device that they need, then it's a problem. Another thing that if you actually do have the device might not be the one that you need for the distance learning. I'll take an example. If you have a device, but a certain subject or some teachers require you to install an application, and this application is not compatible with the software of the device that you have, then what do you do? If we don't have money, then it is hard for us to just buy a new device because we already have one, but we can't use it. So what is it for? That is the obstacle we are facing here. So yeah, there are so many difficulties when it comes to applying the distance learning in our daily life. And even though there are so many obstacles, there are so many difficulties, I do not think that the distance learning system is a completely bad system. I think it's a brilliant thing if we actually have time to properly prepare for the system. Okay, so I think that's all from me. I'm looking for hearing your question. If you have any question, you can type it down on the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.